Well, good afternoon. Last week I shared with you one of the studies that I was doing with a leadership team within a company. Well, this week kind of build on that and share with you what we've kind of studying this week. Last week we talked about the foundation of being a true leader, and if there was any gaps or any cracks in the foundation of this part of your leadership, then your leadership will come crashing down. And that I was talking about was integrity. And this week is another foundational point of being a leader. Leading people and the kind of leader that people want to follow because what you've done for them and who you are and what you represent. And what I'm talking about is your belief. You've got to have a belief in yourself and in your ability to lead. And this is really one of the things that I've seen as being a barrier to people leading at a higher level than what they are right now, is lack of self-confidence and lack of belief in their ability. They're great people. And, and one of the other studies that I do is called the 15 Laws of Growth. And in there, there's this law called the law of the mirror. And the law of the mirror says that before you can add value to someone else, you must first see value in yourself. And when I first started reading that, I was like, that's great, but what are we in junior high here? Are we talking to junior high kids? But as I dug deeper into it and as I started taking people through it and really studying it and helping them, I've seen that there are more adults and more leaders that deal with self-esteem issues and those kind of things than people in junior high. And I want to give you two things today that will help you in your belief, that will reaffirm your belief. And the first one is you have to guard your self-talk. And I don't know about you, but I do talk to myself. I'm sure you guys do too. But I have those voices that are in my head telling me that you can't do this, you've never done that, what you can and can't do, that's not possible, and all that kind of good stuff, or bad stuff, I guess you would say. But you have to guard your self-talk, because what we tend to hear and listen to is what we tend to feel. And it really goes in a cycle, and the cycle goes like this. What we listen to affects our thoughts affect the way we feel, our feelings dictate the actions we take, and our actions dictate the results that we get, and our results reaffirm the belief in the first place. So one more time. What we listen to, the thoughts, the voices that we listen to, whether it's our voices, the voice of someone else, whether that's positive or negative, affect the things we think about. What we allow to stew in our mind and what we think about affects how we feel, and how we feel dictates the actions that we take. Those actions we take become our results, and our results reaffirm the belief in the first place. I want to show you what this looks like. In high school, I was a catcher. I played catcher, and I loved playing catcher, and I wasn't horrible. I was a pretty good catcher, but there would be times when I was behind the plate and there would be a runner on first. And this voice would come into my mind. The voice would say, hey, there's a runner on first base. If he gets down to second base, he's going to be in scoring position. Well, I would hear that voice and I would start thinking about it, and I would say, oh man, if I miss this ball, that guy's going to get down to second base. He's going to be in scoring position. A base hit scores a run. I would start thinking about that, and I would immediately feel nervous and tensed up. My muscles would be tight, and because my muscles were tight and I was so tensed and nervous that I couldn't react to any kind of ball that was in the dirt or any pitch that was just slightly off the plate. The ball would go by me. The guy would get down to second base, affirming the thought I had in the first place. But on the flip side of that, there would be times when a runner would be on first base and this voice would come into my mind saying that somebody has to take over this game. Somebody needs to do something. And I would start thinking about that voice. I would immediately become confident, and I would say, I'm going to take this game over. There's no way that guy's getting down to second base. And if he tries to get down to second base, he's going to be walking back to the dugout because I'm going to throw the guy out, right? Not in an arrogant way, but it developed some confidence. Because I was confident, I felt confident. It allowed me to relax, to move around if a ball was in the dirt in a bad way or way outside the strike zone. Because I was comfortable and confident, I could quickly move into position. My instincts would take over. I would block the ball up, or if the guy tried to steal second base, I could throw the guy out, reaffirming the thought in the first place. So guard your self-talk. It takes the same amount of energy to think positive as it does negative. Know that you are valuable and you have unique gifts, talents, and abilities that you possess. So guard your self-talk. The second way to increase your belief is stop comparing yourself to other people. That is hard. I know it. I've been there. But you can't compare yourself to other people. I've got a quote right here. You know I love quotes. And this one, it says, when you get to heaven, God isn't going to ask you why you weren't more like Mother Teresa. He's going to ask you why you weren't more like you. He created you with unique gifts, talents, and abilities that only you possess. And this world needs your gifts, not someone else's that you're trying to emulate. Be yourself. So this is what happens when you compare yourself to other people. You either compare yourself to someone who's further down the road and you're like, oh man, that Sally lady, man, she's so awesome. People love her. I can never be like Sally. You know what? Forget this. I'm just going to throw my hands up and I'm going to quit. And that's what happens. You quit. You get frustrated. The other thing that happens is you compare yourself to someone that's further down, that's behind you. And you say, you know, at least I'm not like that Corey guy. That guy's messed up. At least I'm not like that. He's in a bad way. I'm doing pretty good if I compare myself to Corey. And when you do that, you compare yourself to someone who's so much further behind you, you become complacent and stagnant, and nobody wins when you become complacent and stagnant. So the first way, guard your self-talk. Second way, stop comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to your potential, and your potential is limitless. What have you done today to make yourself more valuable? What have you done today to make yourself more valuable than you were a year ago? What have you done today to make yourself more valuable than you were a week ago? What have you done today to make yourself more valuable than yesterday? And what are you doing today to set yourself up to be better off tomorrow than you are today? I hope today has encouraged you and motivated you to get moving and to stay moving. If this has made an impact on you, I ask that you share it. And I hope you guys have a great day. And God bless.